You ever see something so wild on your security cameras that you just sit there, staring at the screen, wondering if you've officially lost your damn mind? Yeah. That was me watching the HOA president of my neighborhood Karen freaking Sabrina cutting through the front lock of my cabin with a power grinder like she was leading some SWAT raid. Sparks flying, her eyes lit up like it was Christmas morning, and I'm just sitting there in my car, watching it live on my phone, whispering, "You've got to be kidding me." She thought she was breaking into my uncle's safe to recover $50,000 I supposedly owed the HOA money she made up, by the way. What she didn't know was, that safe didn't have a dime in it. Just a little surprise I cooked up to make her regret every step that led her to this moment. So, let me back up a sec. My name's Lucas Kane. I'm 28, I work in cybersecurity basically. I'm the guy companies call when someone's trying to hack their entire life. Last year, my uncle Benjamin passed away heart attack, they said. It hit me hard. They basically raised me after my parents passed. He left me this lakeside cabin, kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and I thought it'd be a peaceful place to reset grief, maybe work remotely for a while. Now, the cabin itself. Gorgeous. Quiet, serene. Too quiet, actually, because weird stuff started happening almost immediately. First, it was the mail bills addressed to Benjamin Kane Financial Consulting. My uncle. He was more of a flannel-wearing, taco box kind of guy. Financial consulting. That didn't fit. Then neighbors started dropping these weird comments, stuff like, he used to have all kinds of meetings with men in suits. And I'm thinking, who the hell was this guy? Then she showed up. Sabrina Wash. Classic Karen energy, sharp bob haircut, fake warm smile, clipboard like it was an accessory, and this smug calm like she'd already won before she stepped through the door. She gives me the whole "sorry for your loss" speech, then drops this bomb about how my uncle owed the HOA $50,000 and, under state law, that debt passed to me. Now look, I am grieving, I'm tired, and she lays these papers down on the kitchen table, and I'll admit, they looked legit. Legal letterhead, notary stamps, itemized payments. The whole song and dance. But something didn't feel right. My gut was screaming, and luckily, my brain trained to spot scams kicked in. I started snapping pictures of everything while she talked, just in case. Later that night, I checked the file data. Those documents. Created just last month. The signatures. Didn't match my uncle's. And the woman. She was way too eager to help me avoid foreclosure if I just settled quickly. I knew right then I was being played. So, I played along. I told her I'd look into it. She left smiling, thinking she had me. But what she didn't know is, I was already digging through her digital footprint. Got into her unsecured Wi-Fi password was literally Sabrina Wi-Fi 123, and from there, it was like pulling the curtain back on a really bad stage show. Credit card debt up to her eyeballs, overdue mortgage payments, and the cherry on top. A text to some guy named Tony, "Old man's gone. Safe should cover it." That's when I got angry. This wasn't just some mix-up. She was targeting me. Thought I was just some clueless kid who inherited property and could be pressured or bullied. So, I decided to flip the script, give her just enough rope to hang herself. I texted her saying I found some of my uncle's cash, and maybe it could cover part of the debt. She practically drooled through the phone. So I emptied the real safe, stashed the valuables, and replaced them with bundles of fake movie prop cash crisp, stamped, for motion picture use only. Just for fun, I slipped a few GPS trackers into the stacks and rigged the cabin with hidden cams. Then I posted a few fake check-ins online, made it look like I was out of town for the weekend. In reality, I was sitting in a diner 10 minutes away, watching everything unfold live on my phone like some kind of twisted reality show. And right on Q11:03 p.m. she shows up with two goons. One of them, her nephew Flynn. And this genius decides to livestream the whole break-in. Not even kidding, camera in his face, whispering, "Midnight treasure hunt with Aunt Sabrina." They get to the safe, she starts cutting through it with a grinder, sparks flying everywhere, alarms blaring, dogs barking down the block. I'm sitting there with my coffee, just shaking my head. When the safe finally pops open, Sabrina starts pulling out the stacks, eyes wide. Until she reads one of the bills. Motion picture use only. Her face pure confusion, then rage. Flynn, still filming, goes, "Yo, we just got pranked." They freak out. Flynn realizes he's live streaming a felony. But 2 Lati videos already up, being shared like wildfire. By sunrise, it had over 200,000 views, and I was back at the cabin, posting about how devastated I was after being robbed during a time of grief. The neighborhood rallied around me. Meanwhile, Sabrina's face was getting memed across the internet. But here's where it gets real. A neighbor, sweet old lady named Mrs. Patterson, stops by, says something odd. "Your uncle had FBI meetings on his calendar before he died. Always wondered what that was about." And something in me just froze. I tore through the house. And found it. A second safe, hidden behind a false wall. This one. Biometric, military grade. Inside. Was everything. Encrypted drives. Surveillance audio. A handwritten letter, "Lucas, if you're reading this, I'm probably dead. Call Agent Harris immediately." Turns out, my quiet uncle had been working with the FBI uncovering a multi-million-dollar fraud operation run by none other than Sabrina. She'd embezzled over $2 million from the HOA through fake contractors, bogus invoices, you name it. And when she realized he was onto her, she made sure he never talked. I handed everything to Agent Harris. They ran a new toxicology report, found traces of a cardiac trigger drug in his system. Sabrina didn't just try to steal from me. She killed my uncle. But she didn't just act alone. That safe. It had names, contacts, paper trails. Turns out, Sabrina was part of a network. They were doing this in HOAs across 12 states. This wasn't just petty theft. This was organized white-collar crime on a national scale. We took it to court. Flynn testified honestly, that kid redeemed himself. Broke down crying on the stand, apologized to the whole community. The jury. They didn't need long. Sabrina was convicted on multiple counts: fraud, embezzlement, conspiracy, and attempted murder. 25 years, no parole. She left the courtroom screaming about conspiracies and Benjamin getting what he deserved. But you know what? We got justice. The stolen money was returned to the HOA, the community healed, and my uncle's name was cleared. Flynn went on to become a cybersecurity student, actually started a whole channel helping others spot scams. And me. I joined a federal task force tracking HOA corruption across the country. Because this mess, it's way bigger than just one neighborhood. But here's the kicker. Months after her conviction, we found one last note from my uncle tucked behind an old fishing trophy. Said, Lake Pines was just the beginning. What we uncovered next, let's just say, the story didn't end there. So let me ask you, if your HOA president started asking weird questions, would you know what to look for? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Sabrina acted alone? Or was she just the tip of something much darker? And don't forget to share this if it made you think twice about who's really running your neighborhood. Justice doesn't always knock politely. Sometimes, it brings a grinder.